You know, it's wild. Every time the new year rolls around, and we're in that week between Christmas and New Year's right now, freelancers I talk to get this urge to plan out how they're going to grow their revenue, increase their client base, add new services or projects, or hit some huge financial milestone. And don't get me wrong, those things are all important. I've done them all. I'm still trying to figure out the right ones to do. But I've discovered over the last year or so that sometimes we spend so much time focusing on growing our business that we forget to look at how we're growing ourselves. In other words, we get so busy living for work that we actually forget to live and build a life that we love. Before I was a freelance writer, I was a pastor for several years, and sometimes little verses and things of scripture will pop back up in kind of new, unique ways, depending on what stage of life I'm in. And recently I've been thinking a lot about Psalm 90:12. Help us to number our days so that we may gain a heart of wisdom. This idea that we want to number our days that we may grow wiser over time. And I think everybody wants to be known as somebody who's wise, somebody who's experienced life and has taken in the world around them and is now ready to give out to others and teach them the way. But I think over time I was really looking at that verse in a wrong way. I was thinking it was all about mortality, reminding us that life is short, that we need to count each day so we know how much time we have left, and memento mori and all those things. And that's good and true, but I think it's actually way more practical. When you get into the Hebrew of that verse, the word for number isn't just about counting the days like you're taking off hours. It's about assigning value. It's about weighing what really matters. It's not count your days so that you get anxious about all the time that passes and how much little time you have left, but it's a value and number your days so that you can live them with purpose. And as I look back over the last year, man, I was buried in work. It was a good thing. I want work. But within that, I was trying to find ways to get more work, to make more money. And to do that, I needed more productivity apps. I needed to have the right routines. I needed to find the right life hacks. And with 3 kids and freelance deadlines and this whole circus around me, it just wasn't working out. I wasn't getting any wiser about how I spent my time. I was just getting busier. And I'm sure you've been there. If you're a freelancer, whether you're a new freelancer or you've been doing this for years, you know that doing a million things can help you feel like you're busy, but you come out not feeling like you're actually growing. And what flipped the script for me wasn't some new app or tool or checklist. In fact, I've started trying to delete all the subscriptions I have. But it's when I've started just to ask myself a simple question. What made today worth counting? Let me ask that again. What made today worth counting? Not what I accomplished or what I checked off the list, but what made today actually feel like it mattered. Because that's how we start growing personally. That's how we design a life that's aligned with what we actually care about. So as we go into 2025, here's something that I'm trying, and I'll offer it up to you to see if you would like to try it. Before you dive into your New Year's goals, planning, or financial planning, just start asking a simple question every night before you go to bed. What made today worth counting? For me, I do it in a little voice apps note that I have. I just start talking. I ask myself out loud, what made today worth counting? And then I just start talking about it. And as you do it, over time, you'll start to notice patterns about what actually matters to you. Not just the stuff that you think should matter, or the stuff that your, to-do list or your inbox or your clients say should matter. Maybe it's not even things that other freelancers in the marketplace think matter, but things that matter to you. Because when you start to nail those things down, you'll start to actually understand how to help yourself grow. Because I think you realize over time that getting a heart of wisdom isn't about having all the answers. It's about asking better questions about how we're actually spending the days we're given. And if you can figure out a way to design your life around that, you actually start to grow in ways that move you forward, both in your freelance career professionally, but also just personally. And so that's my challenge to you. What made today worth counting? Take a time to sit down and actually start answering that question as fast and quickly as you can so that it sticks as a habit, and then start making some real changes to continue to lean your way that way in 2025. Because again, when you create a life that matters, everything else falls into place.